when we set up Groove Mail, there are these basic things we have to do first. So in order for us, I think, in order for us to do what you just said, to have a list, to nurture a list, we need to sort of intelligently build not just the list, but the structure for the list. So, for me, when I started out with Groove Mail, I mean, if I took you in and showed you my dashboard, you would see like 27 lists. Most of them, which were some iteration that I went, oh no, that's not a good way to build a list. So I moved everybody into another list and into another list. And so that's what I find with other people. Well, what should I name my list, or how should I decide whether they go on a different list or the same list? So maybe you can just talk a little bit about that, and you can take whatever path you want to, because I know, you can tell us how to build a list, but actually inside of Groove Mail, how do we determine we need another list, what to name the list?
Okay. So I'm going to start by saying that the way that I think is very radially. So I'm going to hop from strategy to tactic and back and forth, just as it makes sense for me. So buckle up. We're gonna have a good ride here. There really is a lot to unpack in this topic. There's a lot to talk about. There's stuff, we're all Groove members here, so there's stuff about doing what you can do in Groove. There are best practices for email in general, and then there are some strategy or philosophy. And I want to start there because you asked the question about the list and how many lists and what should you name your list. And so this all goes into building a good structure from the start. And the more thought that you put behind the structure as you're building it from the start, the less cleanup work you're going to have to do in the future. So I am a planner. I like to plan things out. Often planning is by the seat of the pants, then that's the plan sometimes when it has to be. But if you have the moment to think it out, I would think about your list structure along these lines. First of all, you have different lists rather than one big list because you are delivering information about different topics or different products. Okay. So you want to create lists that are either topic related, product related, or both. So I want to talk about one of my favorite hobbies, which is yoga. I know there are a lot of yoga practitioners out there. I am one of them. And I love it as an example for a niche to use because I can talk about marketing terms when I'm talking about you as a business owner, and yoga terms when I'm talking about what you're delivering to your customer. So for this moment, we'll all pretend that we're yoga instructors right now.
That's great.
Okay. So I might have a list that is opted in to get my free yoga lesson, which is my lead magnet. A lead magnet is the thing of value that you give in exchange for someone to get on your list. So as a brand new yoga instructor that wants to get online, I might start with, let me do a free class. If I'm trying to get people to go to my yoga classes, if I'm trying to get them to buy online ones, I might do a book. I might, there might be a whole series of things that I want to be my lead magnet, but we're going to talk about a class. Okay. So I'll create a yoga class that I put online for free. Now in Groove, I would do that in Groove Webinar. Okay. I would have people opt in to attend to get my free yoga class. And then I would put those people on a list. And that list would be the free yoga class list. I would even call it free yoga class, as that's an excellent name for a list name. When people, and the reason why you name your list certain ways is when people want to unsubscribe. That's when your list name becomes important, because when they hit the unsubscribe button, they go to a page that tells them what lists they are on. So you want to make that list name sound like something that they want, and they signed up for a free yoga class. So it's actually a perfect list name. You don't want to put leads or prospects or potentials or any words that make people sound like they're part of the masses. That's not the experience that you want the user to have on the other end when they click the unsubscribe button. Does that make sense, Kevin?
That is perfect. And I'm glad you said it that way, because that's when I started renaming my lists. When I went and clicked, I just wanted to see how unsubscribe worked. And I clicked on it and I saw these, 15 lists, and some of them were some are, just my own marketing terminology. And I went, dang, I don't want people to see. That's not how I want, just what you said. That's
Yeah.
not the experience I want them to have. So that is really, really critical to think, what are they going to see? And when they go to choose, really, it's in the unsubscribe. That's the only place they see the list, I think.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The list name, I should say.
And that is why in Groove, we have both an internal and an external list name. So an internal list name might say opt in on whatever page you've put it on so that you remember where you're building that list from. And the external page name is what the member sees when they click on the unsubscribe link.
Oh my gosh. That was like worth the call. Okay, so that's actually really helpful. So you can put more of that description in your internal name, but then the external is what they're going to see. Perfect.
Yep. Now, I will say we haven't been great inside Groove yet about making sure that when an internal name is used, that's what shows up in a table or on a. We're working on all of those things. So, but that's ultimately the end goal right now. So we have that in Groove Cell where there's an internal and an external name, but the internal name isn't what's always displayed when you're inside your account. So we're making those moves. We're making their shifts. We know they're an issue, and they're on the very, very long list of improvements that we have for Groove.
Yes. Good deal. Good.